Okay, next up we're going to look at the squat. Okay, fantastic, king of exercise of the squat, but seen it done quite incorrectly quite a lot of the time. But we're going to start with alignment, okay, and we're going to look at the feet. Now, I'm not too bothered whether you have your feet turned out, or turned in, or slightly parallel, okay? Probably not as far turned out as Ben just showed us there, but he'll go back to his natural stance, and that's what I'm going to ask you to do. Choose something natural to start with. There's some evidence to suggest that turning out has less stress on the knee, and that you're able to then control the weight a little bit more into a deep squat. As I say, initially, choose whatever feels best for you. So, next thing is that the knees are going to follow the line of the toes. Okay, so as Ben squats down, we're going to watch that his knee stays on line with his toes. Okay, it's not going to buckle in. So Ben will show you one now where it lets the knee buckle in. Good, and he's not going to let it buckle out. Next one, as he goes down, comes out. You might find that on the way down you're nice and controlled, but on the way up you buckle in as you work through the effort. Excellent. The next thing is if we turn Ben back onto his side, so you'll be able to see from the side, is he's going to sit back into his heels. Okay, I want him to keep his toes curled up in his trainers, and he's going to sit right back into his heels. That's going to allow him to get activation, more activation through his gluteal muscles. Good. As he sits down, he's going to sit into his heels, weights in the heels, and then he's going to stand up. Excellent. Next thing that we're going to look at is the bar positioning. Now, the best thing for you to do is to retract your shoulder blades so that the bar sits on top of the nice big upper trapezius fibre muscles here. You can have a high or you can have a low bar position. Ben here's got a fairly high bar position, and later on we'll show you a lower bar position. Okay? The more experienced you are, the lower you'll be able to go with the bar position and the greater activation around the hip and hamstrings. But for now, we'll look at it at a high position, as that's what I want you to start with. Hands, I don't want them all the way out along the bar. I want them quite close to the shoulders with the elbows pulled back. That gives the bar a little bit more to sit on the back of the shoulder with. Okay, so first off, we're going to look at the hip pivot. Ben's going to sit back through his hips, imagining that his ankle is in a plaster cast, like he's broken his leg, only up to the knee. So all he's going to do is pivot around the hip, that's deep enough, and come up. Good, a little bit more hip drive on the next one, so hips come forward as he comes up. Excellent. This is the initial phase I want you to learn with. We need to learn to get back into the hips here and really work the gluteal muscles and the hamstrings. Okay, it's key for stabilizing the back. Then, as you get a little bit more experience and you get into the hip pivot, I'm going to allow your knees to glide forward. This will give you the perfect squatting position. So as Ben goes down this time, you'll see the hips are going to come back and the knees are going to come forward over the toes. So you come up, the hips go forward. Excellent. As he comes down again, he's going to allow his weight in the heels. Good, and forward. One more. The knees glide forward slightly over the toes whilst the hip go back.